My entire childhood was spent in Bangkok, Thailand, and I was told that I was almost 4 months old when we first got there. My parents were commissioned as missionaries through the American Baptists. So my mother always told me that my first language was Thai, and the first words I ever learned to speak were in the Thai language, and the English came along with it. And eventually I came back to college and stayed in the States. That's kind of the pattern for most of the people I grew up with. But throughout my life, and this happens to missionary kids, you find that you can adapt to almost anywhere, but that you're not necessarily at home anywhere. And I still retain this love for the land of my childhood. I was able to visit a few times. But I found myself wondering as I went through my life and found myself going to seminary, found myself becoming a minister, found myself becoming a pastor, wondering, here is this skill that I have, this cross-cultural ability, this fluency in a language that's not very common in this country. I wonder if I'll ever be able to use it again. One of the ones that's perhaps better known to us in this country is human trafficking. The sex industry is pretty severe in Thailand. It's something that our disciples women have been addressing worldwide for the past several years, the issue of human trafficking. It is a difficulty in Thailand, a real problem, and churches and Christians have been working for years to try to help folks escape from that industry, to find real work to do. The office that I would be working with helps as a clearinghouse for people to obtain visas to come to the country to do that kind of work, or just to visit that work so they can take it back to their churches and find supporters for that work to continue. Folks in every part of the world have the same hopes, the same desires. They want to have a decent life. They want their children to become educated. They want to be able to live in peace, live in hope. And we're all just very much alike. And certainly the bond that we have through Christ brings us that much closer together. And we as disciples, when we look back at our history and our heritage, it's always emphasized that. The prayer of Jesus that we always be one is something that's been so important to disciples.